It is February 2008, and $44 billion is sitting on the table in front of you. All you have to say is yes. You are about to make the worst decision in the history of the internet. And this isn't even your first time. To understand how you got here, how you became the empire that said no to everything, we have to go back. Back before the billions, before the fall. Back to a trailer parked on the Stanford campus in 1994. You are two graduate students, Jerry and David, and you are supposed to be finishing your PhDs. Instead, you spend your nights doing something absurd. Making a list, a hand-sorted list of every interesting page on a brand new thing called the World Wide Web. The list grows, hundreds of links become thousands. You give it a joke name, yet another hierarchical officious oracle. Yahoo, and something strange starts happening. The whole internet begins showing up at your trailer door. By 1995, 100,000 people a day are using your list. The web is exploding and it is chaos, and you are the only map. Venture capitalists start driving down from Sand Hill Road with checkbooks open. April 1996, you ring the bell on Wall Street. Yahoo goes public and the stock jumps 150% in a single day. You are 27 years old, and you are suddenly worth more money than you ever imagined existed. And this is where you make your first great choice, the one that will define everything after. The question is simple. What is Yahoo? A technology company or a media empire? You choose media. You choose to be the front page of the internet. It works. God, does it work? Yahoo Mail, Yahoo News, Yahoo Finance, chat rooms, games, fantasy, sports. By 1999, you are the most visited place on planet Earth. The purple logo is everywhere, billboards, Super Bowl ads, the side of a NASDAQ rocket. January 2000, Yahoo's market value peaks at $125 billion. Champagne in the office. Ping pong tables and stock options. Everyone who joined early is a millionaire. You are the king of the internet, and kings, you will learn, get comfortable. But 2 years earlier, in 1998, something happened in another Stanford office that you barely noticed. Two other graduate students came to see you. Their names were Larry Page and Sergey Brin, and they wanted to sell you their little project. Their project ranked web pages by how many other pages linked to them. They called it PageRank. The engine built on it they called Google. The price to own it outright, $1 million for you in 1998 pocket change, and you say no. Not because it doesn't work, because it works too well. A perfect search engine sends people away from Yahoo. Your whole empire is built on keeping them inside. Why would you pay $1 million to show your visitors the exit? Remember this moment, because the internet has one law and you are breaking it. The thing that makes you comfortable is the thing that kills you. Larry and Sergey walk out of your building carrying a $2 trillion company in a laptop bag. Then the bubble bursts, March 2000, the NASDAQ collapses and the dot-com dream dies screaming. Pets.com, Webvan, eToys, gone. Yahoo's stock falls from $237 to $8. You survive barely. The board decides the founders need adult supervision and hires a Hollywood studio boss named Terry Semel to run the company. A media man for a media company. It sounds logical. It will cost you the future. Meanwhile, that little search engine you refuse to buy keeps growing. In 2000, you make a decision so ironic it hurts. You hire Google to power Yahoo's own search results. Their name printed at the bottom of every results page you serve. Every day, millions of people type their questions into Yahoo, and Google answers them. You are paying your replacement to train on your own customers. The best search engine on earth is learning, scaling, sharpening on your traffic. By 2002, even Terry Semel can see it. Google isn't a feature. Google is the future. So you do what empires do. You decide to buy it. The negotiation begins at $3 billion. Google's founders want $5 billion. Your advisors run the numbers and tell you it's insane. No search engine is worth $5 billion. And for the second time in 4 years, Yahoo looks at Google and says no, $5 billion. For the company that today is worth more than $2 trillion, that's not a missed discount. That is declining to buy the entire future of your industry for the price of 2 office buildings. August 2004, Google goes public. Within months, it is worth more than Yahoo. Within 3 years, it is worth 10 Yahoos. You watch the rocket you refuse to board twice disappear into the sky above your own campus. But fate isn't done with you, because in 2006, history knocks again. There's a college kid in Palo Alto with a website called the Facebook. 22 years old, hoodie, sandals, and he's willing to sell you everything for $1 billion. The handshake is basically done at $1 billion. And then Yahoo's stock dips, and at the very last moment, you do something small, something fatal. You lower the offer to $850 million, just to save $150 million. Zuckerberg walks. He later says the price cut made the decision easy. If you'd honored the billion, he might have signed. Facebook today is worth over $1 trillion. You lost it to save the cost of a mid-sized office park. No to Google at $1 million. No to Google at $5 billion. No to keeping Facebook at $1 billion. 3 doors to the future closed by the same hand. And now the story turns because next time you'll be the one being bought. February 2008. Microsoft is losing the internet war to Google and needs Yahoo desperately. Steve Ballmer makes an offer no sane board should refuse, $44.6 billion, a 62% premium, cash and stock on the table. And here you are, the scene from the beginning. Jerry Yang, co-founder, now CEO, staring at $44 billion. The empire you started in a trailer, valued at more than most nations' budgets. All you have to say is yes. You say no, you believe Yahoo is worth more. You believe the turnaround is coming. The market disagrees violently. The deal dies, the stock collapses, and shareholders sue you for refusing to make them rich. Within months, the financial crisis hits and Yahoo is worth barely a third of Microsoft's offer. It will never, not for one single day, be worth $44 billion again. Jerry Yang steps down before the year ends. What follows is a decade of slow bleeding. 5 CEOs in 5 years, layoff after layoff, products launched and killed, Tumblr bought for $1 billion, written off for nothing. The portal that was once the internet's front page becomes the tab nobody opens. The bitter joke is that Yahoo's best investment was someone else's genius. In 2005, you put $1 billion into a Chinese startup called Alibaba. By the end, those shares were worth more than everything else Yahoo owned combined. 2017, the end. Verizon buys Yahoo's core business, the sites, the mail, the brand, 22 years of the internet's history, for $4.8 billion. 1/10 of what you turned down from Microsoft, 9 years earlier. Run the ledger of the empire that said no. Google for $1 million, no. Google for $5 billion, no. Facebook for $1 billion, no, at the last yard. Microsoft's $44 billion, no. Every no made rationally, every no catastrophically wrong. Here is the uncomfortable truth. None of those decisions were stupid. Search sent users away, true. $5 billion was unprecedented, true. The stock had dipped, true. Every no was defensible in the room it was made in. That is exactly what makes this terrifying, because empires don't die from bad decisions. They die from reasonable ones. Decisions optimized for the world as it is, made by smart people protecting what already works, while the world quietly becomes something else. Google won because it optimized for where users were going, not where they were. Facebook won because a kid valued his future more than your cash. Microsoft survived because it eventually learned to buy the future instead of protecting the past. And Yahoo optimized for Yahoo. The front page defended itself against the future for 20 years and won every battle in the boardroom and lost the entire war outside it. So this is the empire law written in Yahoo's ashes. In technology, you are not defined by the deals you make. You are defined by the ones you refuse. The exit you won't show your users, someone else will. The future you won't buy, someone else becomes. Today, Google is worth over $2 trillion. Meta, more than $1 trillion. The Yahoo brand still exists, owned by a private equity firm, running on a fraction of its former traffic. The trailer at Stanford is long gone. But somewhere in every boardroom, every startup, every empire at its peak, the same moment keeps arriving. A knock at the door, an absurd little offer, a future that looks like a threat. When it comes for you, remember the empire that said no.